Hello, I'm Bruce Johnson. Tonight, D.C. police have saturated a neighborhood of Columbia Heights where a driver has been firing a shotgun at people. Some residents have taken cover inside their homes. Some others have refused to be frightened. It was as if someone had declared martial law in Columbia Heights tonight. D Street. In private, officers confided to Eyewitness News that they don't have a clue as to who or what type of criminal is behind the random shotgun slayings and slaying attempts. Aren't you a bit scared?
Yeah, I'm scared.
So why are you out here?
I don't know.
There have been 8 drive-by attacks which have left 2 dead and 4 wounded. The victims have been black and white, male and female. Tonight, police were looking for a suspect. Armed with a fresh composite, officers stopped one man in the 3300 block of 11th Street. People who lived in the area produced their own composites and made their own assessments. The man was eventually taken to the mobile command center in the 1300 block of Park Road, where he was questioned further and eventually released. Now, Channel 9's Dave Satter spent this Easter Sunday on Homemeade Place, where most of the shootings occurred. He picks up the story from here.
Just 100 yards up the street from the site of the latest shotgun shooting, they pray. The Easter sermon at New Home Baptist Church on Homemeade Place addressed the #1 topic in this neighborhood.
You wonder why there's killing going on? You wonder why we are victims, that we put bars on our windows, alarms on our car, mace in our pocketbooks. You wonder why we seem to be so entrapped. It's because there's a sin factor.
Even though it's a holiday, there is no break in the manhunt by D.C. police. Officers continue to show the composite drawing of the man they believe responsible for the random shotgun blasts in Columbia Heights and Mount Pleasant.
The fact of the matter is this person does manage to be able to slip in and out of here without being caught. It's frightening everybody, and we won't rest until we catch him.
Homicide detectives now have another composite to show. This is what they say the latest victim looked like. Killed early Saturday morning, the black male in his late 20s has yet to be identified. Homemeade Place is only 7 blocks long, but for the last 7 weeks, it has become the #1 target of the shotgun-wielding suspect. Including the fatal shooting early Saturday morning, the gunman has targeted 6 different people on 4 separate occasions along this street.
Such a nice, quiet street. I don't know why. The street has been quiet ever since I've been on it.
Except now.
Except now.
It makes sense at all to you?
No. Psychopath, what he is.
If we ever get in a position to catch him, we're going to catch him, I'm telling you. We're going to catch him. We're working on it too, Judge.
At the time of the shooting, the suspect was driving a light blue small. That's who possibility.
For 7-year-old Brandon Gignard of Homemeade Place, this day's reading lesson comes from the wanted poster describing the man terrorizing his neighborhood. Who's that a picture of?
The man. A man.
The man. What man?
That was shooting.
Why do you think he picked Homemeade Place?
I don't know. I think he used to live around here.
Think that's it?
Yeah.
The adults here are hoping this is something the children of Homemeade Place won't have to worry about much longer.
Black male, late 20s.
Dave Statter, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
As Dave Statter just reported, homicide detectives continue to try to identify the latest victim. Here is another look at the composite sketch released today showing the slain man. He is a black male in his late 20s. He is described as 5 feet 5 inches in height, 130, 140 pounds, with a medium to dark complexion. He was wearing a red turtleneck, white denim pants, and black tennis shoes. There was a small blue stone earring in his left ear. A pair of brown frame sunglasses was also found nearby. Police say he was not carrying identification, but he had a tag from an organization called Gay Men and Lesbians Opposed to Violence. A fingerprint search in the city came up empty, but the FBI has now launched a nationwide hunt looking for a fingerprint match. Now, anyone with information is asked to call D.C. Police tonight at 202-727-4347. From eyewitness descriptions, authorities say the car used by the random shooter is a late model 90s Toyota hatchback. It is either blue or green in color. The word Tercel is on the trunk, according to police. Police say they are relying on the public's help in catching the random shooter. A $10,000 reward is being offered. Anyone with information should call DC Crime Solvers at 1-800-673-2777. Again, that number is 1-800-673-2777. Baltimore police have arrested one suspect in last night's drive-by shooting. 23-year-old Sean Brooks has been charged with 12 counts of attempted murder. A dozen people were wounded in a hail of gunfire in the northern section of the city. The shooting, which occurred just after 8 o'clock last night, has left many residents angry.
This is like war. You know, war right here in the streets, in our homes, in our laps, and, you know, people's hands are tied. You know, it has to be a better way. It has to be something that can really cut to the fiber of what's happening here. This is genocide.
Police say all of the victims are males between the ages of 14 and 55. Several of them are in critical condition tonight. Authorities say the incident may have resulted after an argument during a crap game. Additional police units were called in after a crowd of nearly 500 people gathered at the scene. 3 other suspects are being sought in that case. Stay with us, because still ahead on Eyewitness News, the latest on the jury deliberations in the Rodney King beating case, and we'll get details on a prison uprising in Ohio. We'll be right back.
The high cost of health care, everyone has a part in keeping it down. So we took what you like about Walmart and what you want in a pharmacy and put it right inside your Walmart store. The result?
Walmart's pharmacy department.
With professional service and the low price on every prescription.
So next time, bring it here.
Or ask your doctor to call.
Walmart's pharmacy department, your full-service pharmacy, right inside Walmart. Always the low price, always.
We know how to help you save on Dodge Caravan during the National Minivan Sale. Say you want a lot of options for not a lot of money. Try this Caravan. You can get over $1,800 in total savings, including both our family value package with air at no extra charge, and sale prices on popular options like these. Only at the Minivan store. See your nearest Dodge dealer. We know how to help.
Overseas, some phones work with pesos, some with yen, and some with lira. But the MCI card works with phones from more than 70 countries all around the world.
I just put that on the ball bearings and that clears up the squeak? You're a genius. That's my mom.
Talk on the phone a lot when away from home? MCI introduces 2 hours of free calling card calls.
And a hair conditioner.
Call and sign up for an MCI card now.
What do they call it duct tape for, anyway?
The freshest ideas in Italian cooking. Now get a free video rental of A League of Their Own. See specially marked packages for details.
They come from a planet far, far away with big, bald, pointy heads. They're the Coneheads.
I am Beldar from the planet Remulac.
Saturday Night Live's Conehead family is coming to the big screen, and E.T. will take you behind the scenes.
Prepare to die laughing.
Then, if you want to hang out with the stars, you gotta head down to South Beach, Florida. It's the country's newest, hippest hotspot, and we'll take you there on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Monday at 7:30 on Channel 9.
A local abortionist who was arrested for performing abortions before they were legal has died. Dr. Milan Vujic was 78 years old. He suffered a stroke last week at Holy Cross Hospital in Silver Spring. Vujic was the subject of an Eyewitness News investigative report back in 1984. It was learned that 2 women had died while receiving abortions at Vujic's D.C. clinic. Another woman had her uterus lacerated, and another female claimed she was given a partial abortion by Vujic because she could not pay the full amount. For 2 years, the city investigated but failed to move against the controversial doctor. Finally, the city council passed a bill giving then-Mayor Marion Barry authority to close such clinics. Montgomery County firefighters have called off their search for a boater missing since 8 o'clock tonight near White's Ferry. Fire officials say a boat carrying 3 people overturned on the Potomac River. 2 of the victims were rescued near the Loudoun County, Virginia side of the river. They were taken to a hospital in Leesburg for treatment. Their conditions are unknown at this time. Officials have not released their identities or the identity of the still missing boater. A disturbance is underway at this hour at Ohio's largest maximum security prison. Authorities say it's not known how many of the 1,800 prisoners are involved in the incident at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in Lucasville, but they are calling it a full-scale riot tonight. The uprising apparently began around 3 o'clock this afternoon in the prison's L block, which holds some 760 people. The county sheriff's office says between 80 and 120 guards are assigned to the unit and that inmates may be holding some guards hostage. At least 7 correctional officers have been treated for injuries. With the latest on the situation, Major Delbert Slesher with the Scioto County Sheriff's Office. He joins us by phone. Major, what's the latest?
Yes, sir. At this time, update to what happened so far is that shortly after 3 o'clock, a disturbance was in L side of the institution at SOCF, which has 8 cell blocks. Approximately between the 800 inmates were involved in the incident. 10 officers was taken hostage. The latest report we have, there was 6 treated and released. 1 was held for a fracture, and 1 was life flighted outside the county.
Okay, any idea how long this is going to go on? What are your plans in a situation like this?
Okay, at the present time, the outer perimeter is being handled by local Scioto County Sheriff Jim Sutterfield. We probably have 15 surrounding counties, sheriff's offices involved. Different post units from the Ohio Highway Patrol is en route and have already arrived on the scene. We're being aided by the local law enforcement agencies within Scioto County and the outlining area.
Major, can you help us out? What sparked this uprising?
At this time, I have no idea. The negotiations is being handled by the Southern Ohio Correctional Officers negotiating team, and they have TRT teams responding from the state to the institution at this time.
Okay, Major, good luck, and thanks a lot for your time tonight.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Los Angeles today, religious leaders appealed for calm at Easter services while police officers mounted a show of force in the streets. The jurors, meantime, tonight concluded their first full day of deliberations in the civil rights trial of 4 policemen accused of beating motorist Rodney King. Regina Blakely has more in this report.
Now, the jury deliberated for about 5 hours this Easter Sunday, and they created a flurry of speculation when they asked Judge John Davies for the transcript of Officer Melanie Singer's testimony. Now, it was Singer who testified that Rodney King led officers on a high-speed chase, but she also testified that she believed Officer Powell hit Rodney King in the head. The judge refused that request, saying he didn't want to emphasize one witness. While the jury continues to deliberate here in Los Angeles, the country waits for the verdicts.
You've got lack of hope. Violence will not bring us the justice we need.
If we don't have guns, we can die.
A serious and tragic misstep for people to resort to violence.
We are prepared.
These are the voices of Los Angeles, a city full of people wondering, what will the jury decide? How will LA respond? Will there be peace, a replay of last year's nightmare, or something in between?
It changed all of our lives, didn't it?
And desperate times bring out the best in us.
People here are still trying to recover from last spring. Most pray it won't happen again.
And we're going to keep it good. Because this is our property. This is our future. And these are our children.
On the streets, the emphasis is on trying to keep things under control, even as a gun shop in North Hollywood does a more than brisk business. But could cynicism rule?
Well, if they're guilty, then a few people are going to start a celebration, and the celebration will turn into looting. And if they're found innocent, then they're going to have another riot, and it's going to be, you know, the righteous indignation.
The concern is evident in cities across America, in cities like St. Louis.
It's communities that come together that remain, that account for safety, not just the police alone.
Throughout the trial, defense attorneys have carried out their own public relations campaign.
It's strictly about the officer's conduct in trying to take into custody a suspected felony suspect who always resisted arrest.
While prosecutors have done all their talking in court.
1-900, no comment.
But in the end, it's the voices of LA that speak the loudest.
There are too many fears out there. There are too many guns. There are too much anxiety.
Now the jury will begin deliberating once more again tomorrow morning at 8:30. Regina Blakely, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still ahead on Eyewitness News, gridlock in Washington as thousands take advantage of a beautiful day to visit the cherry blossoms. We'll add the forecast and a trip to the tidal basin when we come back.
If this is how you think of Volvos, we may have the car to change your thinking. The Volvo 850 GLT.
What a great song. What a great station. It's the new Easy 99.5. Come on, give it a try.
Would you rather buy a Rubbermaid rough-tote 10-gallon storage bin at Lowe's for $5.96 or at Heckinger for $5.36?
Whoa, tough choice.
And would you rather get an MTD lawnmower at Montgomery Ward for $149.99 or go to Heckinger and pay just $129?
Well, I'm from out of town, but it seems like the cheaper one would certainly cost less.
At Heckinger, nobody beats our prices, ever, guaranteed.
Heckinger. Definitely Heckinger.
It's unreal. Handsome guys, blue skies, and me in my gorgeous $14.99 swimsuit. $14.99 swimsuit? This must be a dream.
It's not a dream. Starting Wednesday, April 14th at TJ Maxx, hundreds and hundreds of famous name suits for just $14.99 each. Incredible savings, incredible suits. Don't miss it.
Shopping for fun at TJ Maxx. It can make your whole summer.
You're yellow. What'd you say? Your mustard, it's yellow. Try Goulden Spicy Brown. It's got 8 different spices to give it some bite. Don't be yellow about your mustard. Goulden's is mustard with bite. Yeah.
Driving a Volvo usually inspires a certain sense of safety. Well, now we offer an additional sensation. The Volvo 850 GLT.
Millions of Christians around the world celebrated Easter Sunday. Today, here in the Washington area, hundreds of people attended sunrise services and a pre-service concert at Arlington National Cemetery. Across the Potomac River, hundreds of people attended sunrise services on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. The service was one of prayer and song. In Vatican City, Pope John Paul II celebrated Easter Mass at St. Peter's Basilica before a crowd of some 50,000 people. The pontiff called for peace, and he called the situation in Bosnia, quote, an atrocious drama. The Pope said the fighting humiliates Europe and seriously compromises the future of peace. In Jerusalem, pilgrims visiting the Holy City mingled with peddlers selling trinkets. Missing from the Easter services were Christian Palestinians who were unable to attend because of a closure imposed by Israel on the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Israel says it imposed the closure nearly 2 weeks ago in an attempt to curb escalating violence. And a happy Easter to you.
Thank you.
Impressive jacket you got there.
This is my Easter Sunday / Masters Sunday green jacket.
Okay.
Every time Easter Sunday and the Masters tournament come on the same day, I break this jacket out.
So once a year we'll get to see that.
No, it doesn't even happen once a year the two get together. Anyhow, happy Easter to all of you folks. I hope you had a nice day. Back to school tomorrow for the kids, back to work for all of you folks. Let's go to the numbers outside and tell you that there is some rain beginning to fall in the area, and it is going to fall throughout these last few moments of Easter Sunday and into Easter Monday. 64 was the official high this Easter Sunday, 43 the low. Let's go to the current numbers outside. Right now we are in the 50s at 57 degrees, humidity at 46%. The wind is out of the northwest, a light wind at 3 miles an hour. All right, we open things up. I told you there was some showers throughout the area. I put them into motion, and you can see from our west we are seeing the rain begin to filter in through the D.C. area. Some of it is light rain, some of it is heavier rain. Some heavier showers moved through Fairfax County. Frederick County saw some heavier showers within the last hour. There are some pockets of powerful rain embedded in this light stuff. So be advised, tonight you may hear some rain out. Tomorrow morning you may have some slippery streets as you head into work. The cloud cover map. gorgeous day all day long. Now we start to see some clouds come into the area. It's timed out perfectly. We had a window of clear skies right for Easter Sunday. Tomorrow, it looks like in the morning we may see a few clouds. We may also still have a few lingering showers, so be advised of that. But by afternoon, we'll go with partly to mostly sunny skies throughout the area. Cooler air coming in. We're supposed to be around 66 this time of year. We're going to be around 60 to 64 for the next few days, so several degrees below average. Temperatures, again, 60s, 50s just to the north, 70s just to the south. The forecast overnight tonight. Let's go with cloudy conditions and again scattered showers throughout the area at times. Those rains could be quite heavy, 45 to 50 degrees. Tomorrow morning, cloudy. We got a real mixed bag tomorrow morning. Some sun, some clouds, a scattered shower or two possible. We'll have it all tomorrow morning. By afternoon, though, partly sunny and breezy. Winds will be gusting up to 20 miles per hour. The blooms on the cherry blossom trees are still holding on, by the way, but you may want to try to get down there because we do see some big winds coming in tomorrow afternoon. Large crowds throughout the area today. They're saying as many as 75,000 people have gone down to sniff and touch and bring their kids and bikes and paddle around the tidal basin this holiday weekend. Again, the blossoms are in bloom right now. It is gorgeous. Try to catch a quick look at some point if you don't mind dealing with the traffic. 6-day outlook, maybe a raindrop or two in the morning. Tomorrow then we'll go with a mixture of clouds and sun. Next shot of showers comes Friday and Saturday, and that could be some heavy rain.
Okay, hold on to that golf jacket because the Masters crowned a new champion today. Ken Meese is up next with the highlights.
I thought he was in jail. How could he be appointed? As a generation, we are sleeping.
The man looks like a collie dog.
Toxic levels in the water. It's like a circus without the
German expressionism is a prologue to social upheaval.
1 minute singing and then gunfire.
It's not about belief, it is about money.
1990, 42,000 miles, 6 Grand Tyson's Corner. Dreaming.
Reasonable.
I before E.
Come on, Tom, it's sweeps week. What do you expect?
Washington Post. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
MCI's Friends Around the World has been the lowest priced international call you can make to any one number to over 200 places around the world. Now MCI announces an extra 20% savings to 2 numbers. They'll be the lowest priced international calls you can make. Call MCI. Over the years, using us to call outside the country could save you hundreds upon hundreds of dollars.
The 1993 Toyota Previa is for those families who always seem to have room for others. It could be because they have room for extra cargo. It could be because they have room for 7. Or it could be because in the Toyota Previa, there always seems to be room for one more.
Where will you be at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning? Well, wherever it is, make sure there's a radio handy and make sure it's tuned to 94.7 FM W Light, because sometime between 9 and 10 tomorrow morning, you'll hear Anything for You by Gloria Estefan. When you do, call W Light and you could win $5,000. If you haven't listened to W Light lately, that's 5,000 reasons you should. Somebody's going to win $5,000 tomorrow morning between 9 and 10 on 94.7 FM W Light. Where are you going to be?
Come see castles and knights. Explore legends, be bold. Conquer dragons, adventures waiting, there's no time to waste. Come see, come conquer the nearby faraway place. Lotus Garden, Williamsburg, come see, conquer.
Stop by participating Wendy's for $3.50 discount coupons to Busch Gardens.
I would have thought that I would appear to be the conservative between these two.
Just consider that for one night in your career, you've worked with the Masters.
I feel like a bore. I mean, look at you.
If the shoe fits.
You're either an overgrown leprechaun or a...
Bruce is just a pair of brown shoes and the great tuxedo of life. Germany's Bernhard Langer took over the Masters with an eagle on the 11th hole yesterday. Entered today's final round 4 shots ahead. The lead slipped to 1, but he wavered only slightly, then marched to the 4-shot win. Became the 8th foreign Masters champion in the last 14 years. Now, Langer entered the round at 9 under par, and he did labor a bit to get his rhythm. lost to stroke 2 par and missed this long birdie putt on number 8, but he saved par there and then got his game back together the rest of the way. Shot of the day belonged to Brad Faxon. Out of the sand above and behind the treacherous par 3 16th. No way of holding this shot. Ran down the hill, broke to the left, and like a groundhog to the hole. Yeah, the birdie for Brad Faxon. There it goes, shot of the day. The par 3 12th hole was like the Bermuda Triangle this week. Guys teed off on this one were never heard from again. Richard Zokol took an 8 yesterday. This is Dan Forsman that closed it within 1 shot of leader longer, only to put his tee shot in the drink and then put another wedge shot in there, took a 7. And this is Chip Beck, Mr. Steady, quietly put together a -7 tournament. Parred out on number 17 to finish in second place all by himself. But the story, of course, was Bernard Longer. He rallied coming out of the Amen corner with his 20-foot downhill eagle putt on number 13. After a streak of 8 straight pars, he then birdied the par 5 15th, was home free. The tap in on 18 closed out everyone. $306,000 first prize. Bernard Longer wins the Masters by 4 over Chip Beck. John Daly, Tom Lehman, Steve Elkington, and Lanny Watkins tied for third, all 6 shots behind the champ, Bernard Longer. Well, about the only thing that could make this season worse for the Bullets is if Tom Gugliotta broke out in a rash of adolescent acne and didn't want to be seen in public anymore. Today, Michael Adams suffered a broken bone in his left hand. He's lost for the scant remainder of this woeful season. And then they went on to lose to the Detroit Pistons, 106-94. Here's the Adams injury. Buck Johnson on the bullet drive, missed the short jumper. Isaiah Thomas got the rebound for Detroit, dribbled up the floor, but watch Michael Adams. He reaches in to steal the ball. In so doing, he broke the 4th metacarpal bone in his left hand. Michael Adams' season is kaput. Now West Sunsell, Bill Blair, Jeff Bizdelik must decide on a rotation of their young, relatively inexperienced guards. One of those, Brent Price, stepped up today, had personal high 10 assists, fed Tom Gugliotta's slam, 47-46 Bullets at halftime. Second half, the Pistons inched away. Danny Young to Terry Mills for the turnaround. 22 points for Terry Mills. And finally, Danny Young again, this time to Dennis Rodman, who worked on Harvey Grant for the layup and the foul. Rodman finished with 14 points compared to Harvey's bullet leading 19, but the Pistons won the game 106-94 over Les Boulets. The New York Knicks have iced the East. The Boston Celtics are still trying to lock up third place. In Boston, Sherman Douglas has been winning Beantown Friends and influencing NBA doubters. Got it to Xavier McDaniel there, 48-47. Boston with the slight edge at halftime. Didn't hold up. New York's Greg Anthony to Anthony Mason to Patrick Ewing for the foul line jumper. 34 points for Patrick, along with 15 bounds. The Knicks held sway 102-90. Celtics trying to hold off the New Jersey Nets in the playoff pecking order. Last night, the Orioles came up with 6 straight hits in a 5-run 6th inning. They beat the Seattle Mariners 5-3. Today, they worked overtime, did not get time and a half for their efforts, and lost 7-6-12. This was a 2-2 baseball game into the top of the 5th when Mike Devereaux solved the slants of 6'10" Randy Johnson. 2-run home run that scored Brady Anderson ahead of him. Baltimore led Seattle 4-2. And still in that 5th frame, the Orioles were golden when Chris Hoyle stepped up and also creamed a Johnson pitch deep into the left field seats. 5-2 Birds bulge. This one went to the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Mariners were down to their last pitch. 2 outs, 2 strikes on Tino Martinez, but Greg Olson couldn't get the 3rd one by him. Martinez doubled, brought home the tying run. They were destined for extra innings. This tied the game at 6-6 after 9. And they worked their way through the 10th and the 11th and got to the bottom of the 12th. And again, 2 outs and 2 strikes, this time on Jay Buhner. Deja vu all over again. Jay Buhner with a single off Mark Williamson. Dave Valley trotted home with the winner, and the Orioles sink to the bottom of the early American League East standings, 1-4 on the year now, 7-6. The Mariners win this one in 12. Meanwhile, Texas over Boston by the score of 4-1. Cleveland bests Toronto 10-6. Oakland over Milwaukee 8-2. Yankees beaten by the White Sox 6-4. California 7-6 over Detroit, and Kansas City, first win of the year for the Royals after 5 losses, 2-1 over Minnesota. I'm willing to bet that the Atlanta Braves won't lose 3 in a row all year. I mean, their pitching staff is so strong, they may lose 2 in a row, twice this year. 3-0 they got by the LA Dodgers. As of the Dodgers, pitching to Ron Gant, the game-winning RBI in the first frame, as it turns out. Solo home run for Ron Gant. Let's see, that would make it 1-0 Atlanta, wouldn't it? Solo home run in the first, I guess so. For good measure, then, in the 8th inning, Deion Sanders came up. He's bidding for full-time duty with the Braves, and he came through big time, prime time, and in time. Bases loaded single off Rick Trellicek to drive home Jeff Blauser and Ron Gant. The Atlanta Braves beat the LA Dodgers 3-0 in Fulton County Stadium. And we see also the Phillies shutting out Chicago by the score of 3-0. San Francisco over Pittsburgh 4-3. Tonight, Cincinnati bests St. Louis. Look at this. There's nothing wrong with your sets. That is the correct score. Montreal 19-9 over Colorado. Houston over New York again, 5-4. San Diego beats Florida. And you saw Atlanta shutting out Los Angeles. Well, if the Capitals finish second in the Patrick Division, they're going to have to send thank you notes to the Penguins and the Islanders. The Pens helped them back into the playoffs this week, and tonight the Islanders held off the New Jersey Devils. The Devils still 1 point behind the Caps, 5-4. The Islanders beat the Devils tonight up in the Meadowlands.
Okay, we've got, 30 more minutes of Easter.
Okay.
Right, make the most of it.
We will.
We're out of time. Thanks for joining us. Have a great Monday. Bye.
Good night.